today I wanted to talk about the Balboa for today's Silver History Sunday. And I have a couple examples, so I figured I would talk about both of them. Here is a One Balboa, and then I also have this here, Medio Balboa, which will make an appearance in this discussion here in a little bit. So the Panama Balboa was created to replace the Colombian peso, which was used in the country prior to 1904. The Panama Balboa was tied to the US dollar because the US dollar is also legal tender in Panama. This makes one Balboa equivalent to one US dollar. And as you guys know, the US dollar is broken up into cents, so 100 cents equals one US dollar. But one Panama Balboa is equivalent to 100 centésimos. So in 1904 they started to make silver coins using the newly formed currency. They minted coins in a variety of sizes, but all in centésimo amounts. They called these the Panama pill because they were so small. But in 1931 they finally made their first dollar-sized coin. It was known as the One Balboa, and that's what we have here. During this time, all of the coinage, the 1/10, the 1/4, and the 1/2 Balboas were all equivalent in metal content, value, and size to the United States analogs. That would be the dimes, the quarters, and the half dollars, along with the dollar coins. This is of no surprise though, because these coins were actually minted by the United States on planchets that were used to mint United States currency. So I have a peace dollar here, just to show you, and these were the same planchets used for minting the peace dollars that were used to mint these Balboas. So let's take a look at the coin itself before diving too much further into this ramble. On one side of the coin, we have the bust of famous conquistador and explorer, Vasco Núñez de Balboa, right here. He's surrounded by two branches, right here and here, and I'm not totally sure what type of branches those are, so if you know, you should let me know in the comments below. But the coin's monetary value is also inscribed above. One Balboa. This face of the coin was designed by Panamanian artist Roberto Luis. He was a painter who became well known for his paintings of national presidents, and his work still lives on today in the National Theater of Panama and the Palace of Government. Vasco Núñez de Balboa was famous for many reasons, but mostly because he founded and settled in an area that is now known as Panama in the year 1510. This was the first permanent European settlement on the mainland of the Americas, hence his importance to the Panamanian culture and history. On the other side of the coin, we have a female figure leaning against the national coat of arms of Panama. She is holding a fasces in one hand, right there, and this is the same symbolism you see on the Mercury dime, and on many other coins actually. And in the other hand, she's holding an oak branch. She's surrounded by the words República de Panama, the weight here in grams, and the purity, which would be 0.95, so 90%. Below her image is the date in which the coin was minted, this one being a 1947. And this face of the coin was designed by American sculptor William Clark Noble, who's also remembered for designing a Guatemalan coin, the 1925 Guatemalan Quetzal. I'm not sure how you say that. But he also designed Guatemalan coins. Almost 1 million of these coins were minted over its lifetime, of these 90%ers, with almost 500,000 of them being in 1947. So the one I have here is definitely the most common date of them all. Let's go through some fun facts though. As time went on, the coin changed several times in design. The original design looked like the one I have here, which was minted from 1931 to 1947. Then in 1966 they changed the back of the coin. And this is where that Medio Balboa comes into play. So they changed from this female figure over to this design, which was just an enlarged coat of arms. So Medio means 1/2 in Spanish, and these were all made in 40% silver because they followed the same metal contents that the United States did. So since this was 1966, it would be 40% silver, just like the JFK half dollars. The reverse here is the coat of arms of Panama, and the female figure was removed from the coin. On the full-size Balboa, there would also be a weight on the right and a purity on the left, but I don't have a full one to show you. So the coat of arms of Panama is quite interesting. the center bit here, right there, maybe this one's better. Not really. But that center bit there is known as the Isthmus of Panama. It's the area that Balboa founded, and it's the strip of land that separates the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. And then these 4 quadrants on the coat of arms here are also quite interesting. Starting up here, we have a sword and a rifle. Here we have a spade and a hoe. Down here we have a cornucopia that's supposed to be pouring out coins. You can kind of see it on this one. And then here we have a winged wheel, which is a symbol of progress. And then up here we have the motto. This says Pro Mundi Beneficio, which means for the benefit of the world. And then I have one more little fun fact here, and it's kind of interesting, I guess. You can see here on the front we have VN Balboa, which is Un Balboa, so One Balboa in Spanish, and that V is actually supposed to be a U, right? Well, on coins they often use the letter V in replacement of the letter U. The alphabet used around the world today was developed by the ancient Romans, and at that time the letters J, U, and W did not exist as separate letters. So they would use a V to represent a capital U. Some of these changes happened during the medieval times, but it would explain why the lettering on the front of the coin actually means Un Balboa and not VN Balboa. Whereas VN Balboa would have still made sense because of Vasco Núñez de Balboa, who the coin is named after. But this is actually supposed to be the denomination of the currency, saying, hey, this is just 1 Balboa. And this topic comes up a lot where people get confused about capital V's. And so I kind of wanted to show you this peace dollar as well, which also uses it. In God We Trust. There's the capital V, used to represent a U, right? And then some people say that that is supposed to stand for victory, that V, but I disagree. I think it's just a stylized writing taken from the Roman times, and if you don't agree, that's okay. But I also just wanted to show you, here's a Morgan dollar, which is also made by the United States, and you see this one says In God We Trust as well, but the capital letter G in God, and then everything else is in lowercase letters, and they happen to use a U. They're not using a V there. So just interesting little tidbit. I don't know the validity of that, but that was just something that I found interesting. But you could imagine that any sort of stylized writing that the United States would use would also be represented on the Panama coin, because we minted all of the coins for them. And so yeah, interesting stuff. I don't know. Thanks for watching though, guys. And I had a lot of fun researching this coin. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything, or if you have some fun facts to provide as well. And also, if you want, you can request coins down in the comments section of which you want to see a Silver History Sunday on in the future. We'll see if I can't make that happen. So yeah, thanks again, guys.